Hey traders, Akil here. Welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. Thank you as always for joining. Today I have a pretty serious podcast and I need your help. And what I want to do is I want to read to you a message from a struggling trader. And it's not your normal struggling trader. You guys can imagine I get messages and emails and DMs many times a day from struggling traders out there. But many of those situations are kind of people that are chasing trading for the wrong reasons. And this is more of a relatable one. So I wanted to share it with you. And what I want you guys to do is this. If you have any advice, right, because I like to think of this podcast and you guys as the listeners as being really a close-knit community. It's a place that you can go to that's a little bit different than your typical trading forums or your Facebook groups. And I think we all tend to be on the same page about what the reality of trading is and just in general trying to help each other, fellow man and woman, become better and more successful at life. But these podcast episodes just aren't available on music streaming and podcasting apps. I also put them on the YouTube. So I want you to do me this favor. If you have any advice for this trader after the podcast is over, head over to the YouTube channel, find the video, write a comment underneath. That way it's there on YouTube forever. So therefore, if this trader does want to check it out, if they are in need of inspiration, or maybe they're another trader, or maybe even you yourself is in a similar situation and you need a little bit of advice and a little bit of a pick-me-up, these helpful words are there to help you out. But let me read you this email, and I'll go back and give you my perspective, my opinion, and kind of how I responded to the trader. But he says, "Hey, Akil, I'm not sure if you are the right person to contact right now, but I really need some advice. I've been trading since last December, and I joined the Tier 1 platform a couple of months ago. I consider myself a struggling trader. I know the steps I need to take in order to become a profitable trader, since you've explained it so well in the courses. However, until this day, I haven't stopped trading myself, although I know that's the number one piece of advice for any new trader who doesn't know what they're doing. I am in debt, and it's increasing over time because of trading. Today, I hit another low when I lost a lot of money I don't have. I am 32. I have a university degree and a good job, which pays just fine. I don't have many monthly costs either, since me and my girlfriend live quite cheap. That means I can save quite some money every month, but although I don't know how to trade yet, I keep on trading, trying to win back my losses. I think in total I've spent over $25,000 on trading. I told my girlfriend I am not addicted, and I believe that I am not, but I keep feeling a gap as to where I am in life in comparison to where I think I should be. If I look back as to why I keep doing this, one answer might be that I'm not living the life that I think I should have for someone my age. By this time, I should have saved some money. I would like to propose to my girlfriend. We want to get married and buy a house. She has enough savings, but I keep struggling. I think I can't accept my life as it is with debts, and therefore I am gambling my money with trading, hoping to improve my situation. Of course, this will never happen. I know that, but I keep thinking I don't have to trade live anymore as long as I make my money back, etc., etc. I think I've come to the point now where I realize I have to accept my current life and start to accept that the money I lost will not easily be recovered, that I need to stop trading, increase my savings, and accept the fact that it will take 1 to 2 years before I am completely debt-free. I'm still very confident that I want to become a professional trader. I want to study, put it to work in order to become consistently profitable, but my approach just doesn't seem to be efficient. I haven't really been active on the platform in the past few weeks because I was too stressed out over another debt I had created. I want to start backtesting, but I struggle on how to get started as well. I listen to your podcast. I've listened to several accountability sessions as well. I always hear people say they just start backtesting and put in the time, but I find it quite hard to execute a strategy, to be honest. If you are backtesting a cipher pattern, for example, how do you know if you haven't missed a trade? I could assume that I'll get better at recognizing patterns over time, but maybe I would do it wrong in the beginning. Would that mean I have to backtest it again when I'm finished my first pair, just to see if I didn't miss anything? How do I know I'm doing it right? There is no one checking my work, and since I am still struggling, I am not yet confident in my own skill. Then the rest talks a little bit about trading platforms, and it's an interesting email. Give me a second to just drink some water here. Excuse me. It's an interesting email, but it's not uncommon at all. And I would argue that many of you guys have felt this way. I have felt this way plenty of times, not just in trading, but in other business ventures as well, that haven't gone the way I thought. But I would say this one thing. I think the most important message that I picked up from this email is that the trader is honest. The trader has identified and accepted that there is a problem, there is something that needs to be fixed, and they're reaching out for help about how to go and fix it. And I think that's the first thing you can do, right? I've never been in Alcoholics Anonymous or any type of, one of those programs, but I always hear that the first step is accepting that you have a problem, and that's really truthful. There are so many people out there that don't accept having a problem. I mentioned it earlier. I get emails and messages on a daily basis from traders that are saying, "Hey, Akil, I'm in this trade. I don't have a stop loss. I don't really know why I got involved, and I just want to reach out for advice. And what do you think I should do?" And I'll respond, "Well, whenever you're in a trade that you shouldn't be in, you should probably exit right away, right? And what do you think the common response is to that? Yeah. But do you think it's gonna go up?" Right? Instead of accepting that they are wrong, they're looking for that quick fix. They're looking to make it back. And that's very similar to what this trader mentioned. He said he's losing money and he continues to trade even though he knows he should not trade because he just wants to make back the money that he lost. And you keep telling yourself, once I get to break even, I'll stop. I promise. This is the last time. Once I get to break even, I'll stop. I promise. Right? But do you ever get to break even? Probably not, right? Making those mistakes just digs you deeper into a hole. And if you ever do get the break even, my guess is that what would happen is instead of saying, "Whew, I'm at break even, I'm lucky, let's stop," you'd probably start thinking you're good and be like, "Well, let me just see if I can make a little bit more since I was able to do such a good job of digging myself out of this hole." So the first thing that this trader can do is just stop trading. Stop trading right away. The reason they are trading is to get themselves out of debt. However, it is putting them into more debt. So what I told the trader is this. I said, you should stop trading right now. You should put trading on hold. I don't think you should think about trading. I don't think you should pursue trading. I think the number one goal right now is to work on recovering from your debt hole. And I say that because when you have that outside problem of being in debt, it's automatically going to increase that need. I don't know how many of you guys have been in debt before. I would probably assume a lot of you guys, since in general, a lot of the people in the world are in debt. But it's not fun. I've been in debt plenty of times, and it is a massive weight on your shoulder. It follows you around. It's a dark cloud above your head. It rains. It ruins your life. It makes you unhappy. It stresses you out. It ruins relationships. Debt is a real thing, and it causes you to take actions that you may not take otherwise, especially when you have a chance that you can potentially make a lot of money quick, whether it's in the casino and gambling and you see people in debt that you're betting on one more horse, or whether it's trading and you're taking one more trade even though you shouldn't, you're doing it anyway. So I think the first thing that this trader has to do in order to get their footing is get out of debt, right? My good friend and my trading mentor and one of my business mentors, Jason Stapleton, always used to tell me this. Whenever we talked to newer traders, he said the first thing you need to do is stop the bleeding. And this was an old, he's military, so it was an old military thing where, apologies for my phone going off, it's the middle of the day. He was ex-military, and, as soon as someone was wounded, the first thing you want to do is stop the bleeding, and then you can work on the recovery process. And Right now, the debt is depleting. You're literally bleeding money, right? So right now, we need to bandage that up. We need to repair it, right? I know this trader said it will take 1 to 2 years. Maybe it will take shorter than that, but we need to repair the debt and get yourself in a great financial situation overall. By the way, I don't mean the shameless plug, but if you guys don't do so already, make sure you subscribe to the Always Free newsletter. Make sure you listen to my buddy Jason Graystone's Always Free podcast. There are so many valuable episodes just about kind of being financially healthy. It's an amazing free plethora. Actually got that word out the right way. Plethora of amazing content. So if you're someone that struggles with being financially responsible, personal finance, just thoughts and fears on money, make sure you listen to the Always Free podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Always Free newsletter as well. But put a Band-Aid over that debt. Get on the right track financially. And there's many ways to do that. Again, you can listen to some of the tactics that Jason Greystone talks about. I've told you many of tactics here on the Trading Coach podcast about how to just kind of live below your means and save more and reduce debt that way. But that's got to be the number one goal, because once you eliminate that debt, you're going to eliminate a lot of that pressure. And once you eliminate that pressure, you're going to be able to approach trading in a new way, right? One of the hardest things about becoming a consistently profitable trader is trading when you, quote unquote, need to make money, right? And this is what I warn traders about, either trading live too early or about going on to start a business, say money management or a signal service or something like that, right? It's one thing to trade just in your mind. It's another thing to trade a demo account. It's another thing to trade your live money, right? But when you get to the point where you're becoming a full or a part-time trader, where either some or part of your income relies on your trading success, there's a different type of pressure. That's one of the reasons I love teaching. People get on coaches all the time, right? This is a supplemental form of income. What I love about teaching, in comparison to when I used to manage money and just trade for myself, is that it's not necessarily I eat with what I kill. I guess I eat what you kill from the trading business side. You got to be a good business person and make sure your business is booming. But what I mean by that is, like, there will be times in the market where there are just down periods, like low volatility, or you're just in a drawdown. And those drawdowns were made 10 times worse because guess what? When you get those P&L statements from your broker, right? They're in parentheses. They're in the negative. So not only are you losing money in the market, which is okay, there are periods where you're always going to lose money, but you're losing money that you need. You're saying, okay, I got this bill and that bill and that bill. I need to make this much a month in order to stay afloat, but I lost money in the market, so where is that money coming from? And now there's more pressure to succeed. Something about having good supplemental income is that, hey, you may have a bad trading month. Well, you have that safety net of that other revenue source to kind of back you up. So there's not that pressure and you don't make those psychological mistakes. So when you're able to approach trading with really a free mind, it's amazing how much more comfortable you will be. And it's amazing when you take that pressure away, how you're more likely to take the right actions. You know how I believe if you do the right things for the right reasons for the right amount of time, you will be successful. So that is the number one step that I told this trader. Something else that was interesting was the trader feeling that I'm not where I'm at, or I'm not where I want to be at in life. And the question is why? This trader is 32. Now, 32 these days in 2019 is a lot different than 32 back in like the 1950s, right? We're living longer than ever. We're maturing slower than ever. A couple of years ago, right, Jay-Z said 30 had a song, was it 30's the new 20? Right? I certainly believe that true. People are taking their time. People are having kids later. People are getting married later. You have plenty of time. This is a weird question. I was going to ask yourself, when are you going to die, right? We don't know when we're going to die, but let's assume that we're living a healthy life, right? Our life expectancy, right? It's routine now to live into the 90s, right? You've got a third of your life left. And if you think about it, really, it's more than that, because the first probably half of your life is just you growing up. So you have plenty of time to live your life, achieve your goals. Plenty of time to change careers, follow your dreams, have fun, travel. Plenty of time to do that. And if you're not where you want to be in life right now, you're not where you feel you should be, the first step you need to do is write it down. Write out what you want from life right now. Write out where you feel you should be in life right now. Put it on a whiteboard, right? Grab some paper, make it nice and big. Look at it, stare at it. And then ask yourself this question. How am I going to get from where I'm at right now to where I want to be? And start working backwards. Like any other goal, start working backwards. And with that being said, it's okay to change, right? If you would have asked me 10 years ago what my goals were, it was to become a millionaire by 30 and retire at 30. Why? I didn't have any reason. That 30 just seemed like a cool number, right? I thought 30 was old until I turned 30. And I was like, it's not that old. But that was my goal. I got to 30, didn't achieve those goals. So did I pout and moan? No. You just reevaluate. You set new goals, right? Goals are meant to be accomplished. And as soon as you accomplish one goal, you set another one. So you have plenty of time. You're young. And one thing you can't do is you can't compare yourself to, and I don't know if this person is doing this, but I know a lot of people in general are doing this. You can't compare yourself to others' lives. Whether it's a best friend that is doing well, certainly not the internet. So if you're looking on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or anywhere, and you're comparing yourself to the highlight reel of other people's lives, understand it's not fake, or it's not real, it's fake. Social media is fake. Social media is one of those weird mirrors at carnivals where it bends you and makes it look weird, right? That it is all fake. It is people sharing with you their highlight reel. That is not reality. So when you see someone posting this picture with the perfect backdrop and the perfect lighting and everything in life seems perfect, and the caption underneath, "Oh, living my dream life," right? That's not real. Maybe it's the reality of that moment, but it's not the reality of every moment. And I'm not even saying that people are lying. Some people are lying. There are some fake social media people out there. But even think about your most famous celebrities. Yeah, they have the moments where they're reaping the benefits of their struggles and their labor. But what about all the hard work that went into achieving that? You don't see that. They have days where they're miserable, where they're frustrated. They have days where their business isn't doing well and they have to reevaluate and they think they're not where they should be. So it's 100% normal. Everyone feels like that. I feel like that sometimes. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, I wish I could have done this by now. Man, I'm not where I want to be business-wise. I want to own 100 rental properties. I'm nowhere near 100 rental properties, right? Sometimes I feel like, man, I should be there by now, but I'm not. But I don't pout and moan. I write it down and I ask myself, okay, well, how can I get there, Akil? Because I don't want to waste any energy, right? Throwing a pity party for myself. I'm all about action. How can I take that action to get there? So that's another thing. You're plenty of time, more time than you think, more time than you think, a lot more time than you think. So don't give up right now. If anything, use that urgency to fire you up, saying, okay, well, I'm not there yet, but by 40, I'm going to do this. And now I got to work more urgent. That's another thing. Now, as far as some of the technical questions go, the trader was asking about, I would even say this. The trader was asking about kind of lacking confidence, right? I understand what I'm supposed to do. I'm not doing it, right? I'm not holding myself accountable. How do I know if I'm identifying things the right way? How do I know if I'm seeing things the right way? How do I know if I won't have to go back and test it again? First of all, that's normal. That's 100% normal. To study something, right? Think about it like this. Whenever you learn something new, are you great at it right away? No, it takes practice. It takes practice. It takes messing up. It takes identifying mistakes. It takes learning from your mistakes. And the more you practice, and specifically in trading, when we're talking about identification, we're building our RAS, our reticular activating system, like the thing in our brain that allows us to kind of focus on what we're focusing on and ignore everything else. We're developing that. So you should be getting better. You should be getting better the more time you spend on something. So it's not out of the realm to think that, hey, if you rush into testing, if you don't take time to kind of train your eyes first and you rush right into back testing, and you're probably going to miss every other pattern. And then as you get to your next pair, your eyes are going to be a little bit better because you already went through a million, right, examples. And you may have to go back to that initial example and be like, hey, let me retest it and compare stats. That's normal. If I were to redo my back testing right now, right, I did my initial back testing probably 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I guaranteed if I were to go back right now, my results would be different. My eyes have changed. I ignore different things. I pick up on different things, right? You evolve as a trader. That's normal. And if anything, going back, yeah, it may take some time, but it's giving you more practice. You're going to be better when you finally get done. I always bring up a trader I work with. Her name is Gabby, kind of a superstar on our platform. And one story I tell about her is that she was backtesting for 2 years. Now, I don't advise that you need to backtest for 2 years. That's a little bit too long for my liking. But when she was done, she had every answer to every question she asked, and her eyes were trained. Her eyes were trained really, really, really good. So again, maybe that's an extreme example of 2 years, but it's a good example of someone that took their time, and instead of wasting money in the market because their identification skills weren't as good, they were ready. To make of course I got to make a sports analogy, right? This is my podcast. I'm a sports nerd. Think about it like, we were having a conversation about college sports the other day, right? We have a college system here in the U.S., right? Where you go to college and then you go to the professionals, right? You have to go to college in most sports before you can go to pros, right? There are many players that are talented. They go to college for 1 year and then they go to the pros. Well, in most cases, maybe LeBron James aside, right? They struggle a little bit, right? Think about a youngster getting a call up to a national team or a youngster getting called up to a first division team. Right? They struggle for a little bit, and it takes them a couple years to really get adjusted. Whereas the person that goes to college, they have 4 years of getting polished, a little bit older, obviously a little bit more experience. By the time they get to the professional league, they can kind of plug in and play right away. Right? So there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit more time, especially if it's going to help you avoid some of the setbacks. Right? In professional sports, if you mess up right away and you get a bad reputation, you may not get a second chance. In trading, if you hop into trading too quick and you blow all your money, you may not get a second chance. At least when you're taking time to do something, right? Yes, you're not making money, but you're not losing it either. And if we're focused on the big picture, I would value not losing money a little bit more than making money. Now, lastly, the trader said that he's taking some time away from the platform, right? We talked about being a little bit unsure about identification, kind of unsure about my situation, right? Understand, the biggest value that we have on our platform is our community of traders. It is something like none other. It still surprises me this day that we've been able to keep it so positive. But we have a fantastic group of traders. They are real traders. They are real traders who are currently struggling. There are real traders who are kind of trying to find themselves. They are real traders who are consistently profitable. Real traders that are starting up hedge funds. right? Traders that have been through everything that you've been through. Use them. That is why they're there. Use them. That is your support system. They're not going to tease you. They're not going to yell at you. There may be tough love every once in a while, but they're going to support you. They're going to help you get on track. And not only use them from a psychological element to stay motivated and pumped up, but use them to answer your questions. If you're unsure, I told a trader to do this the other day. He said he was unsure about a certain trading opportunity. I said, shoot it to the chat. You can shoot it to me and Jason Greystone, obviously, but shoot it on the chat. Ask the traders, hey guys, do you think this is a double bottom? Someone will come in and let you know, right? Do that all the time. Who cares if you're annoying? You're learning. Do it all the time. Use them. That's how you become better. And that chat is open 24/7. Again, you have access to myself. You have access to Jason Greystone through email. If we're in the chat, you have access to us on there. But at any given time, there is someone on that chat ready to help you out. Use it. And not only use it to help answer some of those questions, but use it to keep yourself accountable. If you find yourself slacking, if you find yourself trading when you're not supposed to trade, now that's still on you, to be honest. But use them to keep you on the right track. That is what they're there for. And a support system is the most important part of finding success. No one has ever become successful without some type of support system. No one ever. So that's my advice. I hope that helps. I apologize for maybe the dark mood, not as energetic as I usually am. But I think this is important because although this is a single situation, a single and specific situation that I'm referring to, this is not uncommon. There are so many traders out there and so many non-traders in life that are going through the same thing, that hopefully this advice can help them too. And hopefully the advice that you guys lend in the form of comments can help them as well. But I wish this trader the best. Again, my advice was stop trading immediately. We'll be here when you're ready. If you need to take a break from a platform, I would advise taking a break from the platform. Handle that debt situation first. No need to pay a monthly fee, right? A monthly subscription fee for our business when you're trying to get out of debt. Handle that debt situation first. And if you're still in the trading, if you're still passionate about it, if you're ready to approach it with the right mindset, come on back. We'll be here. And of course, you have access to us outside the platform as well. So hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, plan your trade your plan. Be sure if you're listening to this on iTunes, leave me a rating and a review. That's the best way you guys can help the show. And I'll see you next time with another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. Take care.